This is Corey Pieper. I was going to run through real quick how to log on to Google Analytics and use just one of its more powerful features that will come in handy during the transition here to the new content management system. So the first thing you're going to want to do is log on to www.google.com/analytics. Now, I've given access to the analytics to all of the offices using their social network email address. So you'll need to use that to log in here. So once you're in, this is the page that you'll be met with. There's a couple of folders here: NWS SRH web pages, NWS Southern Region. Those are just folders to open and close. What you're going to want to click on is all website data here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and head to the main page. Your first visit, you'll be met with a lot of training options here, some different videos you can take a look through, and I really encourage you to do that to really get the most out of analytics. So what we're going to look at here is really just the page summary information that will help you get some visitor and hit information page by page for your site. So to get there might not be the most straightforward method in the world, but I most quickly can get there going up to the search, typing pages, and you'll see quite a bit of options here. But what you're going to want to choose is the one that says behavior, site content, all pages. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you're sent to this page right here. Now, once you're here for the first time, you can actually add it to your shortcuts. I only have one shortcut here, and that's the overview. That's by default. Once you're to a particular view, in this case the all pages that we just went to, click shortcut here, and you can actually change the name of it right here before adding it to the shortcut. So I'll just call it all pages. Click OK, and now every time you log on, it'll be right here. So all you have to do is log on, click shortcuts, and click all pages, and you'll head right over to this page here. So there's a lot of information here. By default, you're really only looking at data specified for the last month. That's the default. You can crank that all the way back to April 1st, oddly enough. I think it was April 1st, when I first turned on Google Analytics for the site, and it will update and go all the way back and fetch all that data. You can do just one day at a time, a couple weeks, any range here whatsoever in the future, the past back to April 1st. So of course we're not capturing winter events and things like that for the most part, but it gives you a decent idea of what's going on your site for now. So a few things you can see right off the bat are page views, and you can sort by any one of these columns. Let me go through them here. So here's the page. So that's actually the URL for the site. So in this case, that's www.srh.nota.gov/fwd/index.php. So that's the Fort Worth main page. So ranking by page views, you can see these are the top hit URLs right now on the Southern Region site. So through the different columns here, page views are actual page views. So every time someone loads your page, so one visitor could go to your page and hit reload 10 times in a row without ever leaving. That would count as 10 page views. Unique page views are the number of page view sessions during which a specified page was viewed once. So if someone comes to your site and continues to hit refresh on the same page, because that's still the same session, they haven't left the Southern Region site, that will all only count as one unique page view. This lists the average time a user spends on your page, so it gives you a good idea of how long they're actually looking at a page before they leave. This is the number of entrances. So this is when someone comes from a site other than Southern Region headquarters directly to one of these URLs. That's called an entrance. If they come to one of these pages from another page on Southern Region's web farm, it does not count as an entrance. So you're basically just, in that case, you'd be jumping from page to page, and that would not be called an entrance to the Southern Region site. The bounce rate, this is a really interesting one. The bounce, you get a bounce when someone visits a page, comes to the Southern Region's site, directly to your page, and then immediately leaves. So for example, if a user were to go to Google and type in National Weather Service Fort Worth, they click the top result there, that would take them to the Fort Worth's home page. And then from that point, of course, that's an entrance, and that's a page view and a unique page view. If from that point they click the Wawa map, they're taken to forecast.weather.gov. So at that point, they're leaving our site. So that would be a bounce. They're visiting one page on our site and leaving. So that's a bounce. So this gives you a decent idea of how often people come to one page in our site and then bounce away, basically. So, for example, here, this is, again, the Fort Worth's office's front page. You can see their bounce rate is around 52.15%. Of course, not all of those are going to forecast.weather.gov, but that might give you an indication of how a lot of users are probably using our sites as a springboard off to the forecast, because that's how weather.gov is set up. You click on the big map, you go to a forecast page, click on the Wawa map, and you go to a forecast. So that's one possible direction they're bouncing to. If you dig through analytics, you can actually figure out a little bit more as to where they're bouncing to, and indeed that is the case. There's a lot of bouncing to forecast.weather.gov and also to radar.weather.gov. Those are by far the two most popular. This is the percent exit, so this is, again, how often people are exiting using that page. So this is another indication that people are coming to our front pages, in this case Fort Worth's front page, and then immediately exiting, half those folks. And this is page value. That's for advertising dollars. So that's a quick run through of just the basics, and I'll cover a little bit more in some subsequent sessions.